Welcome back to Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. We're playing with Mandy Thompson and Ashcan Pete. And let's begin. We're outside here beside the barn. We have something that we can see down this way and something we can see across this way if we move. Now we have to decide who's going to be going first. And I'm just going to do a quick camera scan over to our characters so you can see what they have for items, damage, clue tokens and stuff, and then we're going to come back and get into the Alright, so as a high level here, Ashcan Pete has 3 face down damage, 1 face down horror. Of course, he has 7 health, 7 sanity. He has Duke. He has arcane manuscript, roll an additional die while resolving lore tests. He has a knife, forensic evidence, the torch, which is a heavy weapon, and now the pickaxe, which is a heavy weapon. He also has the silver key still. Let's take a quick look at Mandy, and I'm not quite sure how well this is focusing, but Mandy has 4 clue tokens, 2 face down damage, 3 face down horror, a face up horror, which is -1 to lore tests. She has the feed the mind spell, circumstantial evidence, poison mist spell, Elder Ward, roll 1 additional die while a monster is attacking you, and of course the trusty 45 automatic handgun, 6 health, 8 sanity. Let's go back to the board and decide which of our 2 investigators will go first. Alright, I think Mandy's going to go first. She's the investigator. She's going to start by moving, and she's going to move 1 space to here. And I think if you're on either one of these spaces, you can reveal the bottom here. So by taking 1 space, this is not going to cost an action. It says, on the wind you hear splashing water and the creaking of old wood. An investigator in the barnyard can reveal the adjacent area. So she's here. We're going to remove this token and we're going to reveal what is below. So she goes there. And I'm going to get the tile in place, and I'm going to read what we see. Alright, so what Mandy has revealed here is the sawmill. It says, another building in disrepair looms over the forest. Wind whistles through gaps in the wooden walls. Discard the site token and place the water wheel tile as indicated. So we have the water wheel house here, and I will hit continue. From the clear sky comes a splash of lightning, splitting the rickety water wheel away from the building. While the thunder rolls away, the wheel crashes into the river, shedding embers into the dry leaves of the surrounding trees. Place fire as indicated. Oh, wow. So we get fire happening in this space here, which is just the other side. So the water wheel gets hit by lightning and starts on fire. That's not good. Continuing on, someone has left a gun leaning against the wall of the building. Place a search token as indicated. A gun. All right, so there's a gun here on the side of the building. I guess you can just see propped up maybe on the corner here. Continuing on. The old watermill looks like it was recently in use. Light flickering through the gaps in the derelict walls. Place explore tokens as indicated. Alright, somebody's been in this building recently. So we have a door here. And we have the other door here into the sawmill. Okay, continuing on. Is there anything else going on? That's all Mandy sees there. And, okay, I have a feeling Mandy might as well take 1 more step. This is just her first action, and it did not take an action to look. So she's going to take 1 more move, because she can move 2 spaces to here. Now she's in this location, which of course reveals another one of these site tokens. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to tap on that. And I'm going to readjust the camera, and we're going to expose that area. It says you can hear the lapping of water from this direction. An investigator in the barnyard can reveal the adjacent area. So let's go ahead and do that. Mandy's really exploring. All right, so what is exposed? It says a low meadow in the forest is filled with water to form a marshland, surface rippling and dark in the night. Discard the site token and place the spruce grove and marshland tiles as indicated. So we have a spruce grove here, marshland here coming off the water wheel. And continuing on in the app, what does it say? A watertight pack has been abandoned on the riverbank. Place a search token as indicated. Okay, so there is a watertight pack right here. Remember, we got fire blazing here, though, so this could get out of control and is not good. Continuing on, Violet light wavers and glints from beneath the water on the far side of the wetland. Place a search token as indicated. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's not some kind of aquatic beast over here glowing underneath the water. And continuing on with the setup, we have black ooze is floating in the water beneath a stunted birch tree. In a low branch of the tree is an abandoned book. Place the Tome of Horrors common item as indicated. So there's a Tome of Horrors common item, which I will need then, of course, to find as quickly as I can. There's a whole bunch of common items. So give me a second as I rifle through the cards. And of course it will be the last card in the deck. Second last card. Okay, close. So we find the Tome of Horrors. It's an equipment that says when you suffer one or more horror while resolving a horror check, gain 1 clue. And I've been forgetting to get clues from Mandy every time she gets a clue, but I don't think she's had a clue in a long, long time. Basically, this is stuck in a tree here, this spot. Continuing the setup, we're going to hit continue. There's more and more. A swath of trees has been bent or broken, leaving a trail of destruction through the woods. Place a search token as indicated. Oh my god, why do I feel like a dark one is going to be showing up? Continuing on. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. How expansive is this? This is super huge expansive. All right, we're going to put another token here so we get to either of these spaces. We're going to be able to see further. Here, the ground slopes steadily higher in this direction. Place a site token as indicated. Oh, I wonder what's up there. Okay, that's Mandy's first action, was to take 2 steps, and it took a long time. I think for her next action, she is in this space here. She's going to go ahead and investigate the back of the barn door. So that could spell disaster, but she's going to, it says the barn door is solid, but not latched. We're going to go ahead for her second action. We're going to explore it. Oh boy. It says you push open the barn door to reveal heavy shadows within. Place darkness in each space of the barn and discard any explore tokens leading to it. Alright, so the front door and the back door basically disappear. And inside the barn we have a whole lot of darkness. Just what we need. Now we do remember though that Ashcan Pete has a torch. So he has a light source. But this, for now, all 4 spaces are in complete and utter darkness. For now, until Ashcan gets in there. That's, okay, and we're going to continue. Oh, and it says the wooden floorboards look worse for wear under a pile of hay bales. Place a search token here. So we're really piling up the stuff. And right in this corner on the hay bales, we have a search token. Continuing on with the setup, more and more. In the back of the barn, an old forge still has some smoke rising from the hearth. A weak violet light has replaced the normal warm glow from the dying coals. Place a search token. As indicated, wow, tons of stuff going on. So something else right here. Continuing on with the application, you may move 1 space into the explored area. Mandy will be in darkness, and I don't even know if Ash can, well, he could join her, and that's about all he could do. Boy, oh boy. I don't know if she wants to do that. I think she will, because then she'll be at least behind a door. So she's going to take 1 space in here. That's her 2 actions. Up next is going to be Ashcan Pete. So I'm going to adjust the camera. He's just off the corner here. And we're going to have him take his. So this map has suddenly gotten very huge. Now Ashcan Pete does in fact have a torch. We do have a fire burning here though, which would be kind of nice to put it out. But we've got some exploration to do. So Ashcan's first action is going to be, he's going to move 2 spaces, 1 and 2, into this darkened area. He has a torch though. And then for his second action, he will investigate this area. It says deep gouges in the barn floor reveal damp earth beneath. Well, let's go ahead. Ashcan's going to take a second action to search. It says the ragged gouges in the wood planks are large enough to have been made by a plow, but they are coated with a thick gray slime that smells of rotting flesh. Suffer 1 face down horror and gain 2 clues. Then discard the search token. So he's going to get a face down horror for seeing such a grotesque, slimy stuff. That's going to give Ashcan his second face down horror. He's still got a lot of sanity left, so everything from him is face down so far. And 2 clue tokens, which is excellent because up till now he's not really had any clue tokens, but now he has 2 of them, and that's excellent. Mandy's got 4 clue tokens, and now Ashcan's got 2. And that's going to conclude basically our investigator's first turn. I think we're only going to do 2 turns this time because we've explored so much of this huge, huge map. Off now to the mythos phase. And the investigator phase, here we go into the mythos phase. What is going to happen? The fire spreads out of control. Place fire in a space adjacent to a space containing fire. Well, we have 2 options. We can go up here into the swamp, or we can go this way. Oh boy, I don't really know where I want to take this fire. I think we're going to take the fire to the north. So it's going to spread up here and start burning the bushes and stuff here with the Tome of Horrors. We're going to have to come deal with this fire pretty soon, because I think it's going to just continue to spread, and we're not going to be able to do too much about it. All right, so the fire spreads. It says, a fierce wind blows, hurling debris. The mythos event affects the investigator in an outdoor space with the highest strength. Cool, they're both inside the barn. No effect. I like that. That's excellent. Uh-oh. A cult member bearing a silver key glyph on their hand melts out of the dark forest. Spawn a witch, as indicated. Well, we have a witch appearing here. Oh man, so I'm going to have to dig out the witch miniature, and we'll be right back and place her on the board. All right, so we have a witch appearing in horrible attire, rotting off her. So the witch appears here. Watley must be hiding in a bush or something over here. He's just observing. Our witch appears. That's not good. All right. And with the witch appearing, it says the witch moves to the investigator within range, who has suffered the least horror. Then it attacks the investigator. Now the witch only has 3 hit points. And within range, so that means within 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Mandy is 4 away. Ashcan is 2 away. So as Ashcan was busy, and this would have gone away because he's already investigated that. I forgot to take that off. The witch then comes out of the woods and goes right into the space with Ashcan. Yep, and the monster will attack. And so the monster attacks. The witch suddenly appears behind you. What? I thought she was in front of me. So the witch appears behind. Well, how appropriate. He was busy looking at the ruts in the ground. The witch snuck in through the door. Fingers wrapping around your throat and asking you a riddle in a soft voice. So he has to make a lore 2 checks. So he has to have 2 successes on a lore. At least he has a light source. His lore is 3 dice, and he has 2 clue tokens. So he needs 2 successes, or I'm sure something very bad will happen. 2 successes. All he can get is 1. He's not even going to spend a clue token because there's no point. If you fail, the fingers tighten and become an iron vice. Flip 1 horror face up, then suffer 2 face down damage and become restrained. Oh, come on. Yeah, brutal. All right, so he has 2 face down horrors, and we're just going to shuffle them, and boom, a minor shock. Resolve immediately. No additional effect. Flip this card face down. And so his 2 face down horror are just that. Then suffer 2 face down damage and become restrained. Okay, damage is starting to become an issue for Ashcan. That's 2 more damage. That takes him to a total of 5 face down damage. And that he only has 7 damage before he's going to become wounded, which would be a bad thing. All right, so 5 face down damage and become restrained. So not only is he damaged, he's going to have to become restrained. So let me find the restrained card. Oh man, this witch is annoying. But monsters in this game are supposed to be restrained. You cannot move voluntarily. At the end of your turn, discard this card. Okay, well he can't move, but he can certainly attack the witch on his turn. So he is restrained. I got to try to put that card here so I can figure out what I'm doing. So he cannot move till the end of his turn. So even if he kills the witch in the first shot, he's still not moving anywhere. All right. Continuing on. Each investigator must resolve a horror check against a monster within range. Now, unfortunately, there's no doors through here. 1, 2. They're both going to have to take the horror check for the witch. Each investigator resolve a horror check. Yep. So indeed, we're going to have to do a horror check. Resolve a horror check. Yes. The witch is speaking with something you cannot see or hear. No, not speaking. Pleading. We're going to make a will check. We need 2 successes. Well, let's start with Ashcan. He has 4 dice for will. Come on, Ashcan. Let's have a success. He needs 2 successes. Once again, all he got was 1. And he's not going to... So if you fail, you cannot help imagining how terrible a being must be to frighten such a soulless villain. Suffer 1 face down horror. All right, so he gets a face down horror. That's going to take him to 3 face down horror. But he has 7 sanity, so he's not doing too terrible. All right, Mandy has to make the same check. She only has 3 dice for willpower. And she needs 2 successes, and she has 4 clue tokens. So how does she do? Of course, she gets a success, but unfortunately she is in darkness, and is this 1 space or 2? I think this is a separate space. Yeah, because there was 4 darkness tokens. Unfortunately, Mandy will also fail. She cannot convert this into a success because she is in darkness right now. She's not close enough to the light source from Ashcan. So she too fails and will take 1 face down horror, taking her to 4 face down horror, 1 face up horror, of 8 sanity. Not good. Now, I do believe that's going to conclude the Mythos phase. So we're back to the investigator phase. All right, we're going to come back and do 1 more turn each, and that would be the end of this episode. All right, up first, we're going to have Ashcan. He's restrained, but he is not impressed with this witch. He is going to attack her with his first action because he can't move anyway. He's going to attack her with the pickaxe. Yeah, he's a maniac. And he's even turned into a little girl. So he's going to use the pickaxe. It's a heavy weapon. He's attacking the witch. So he's attacked with a heavy weapon. In a desperate struggle, your opponent knocks your weapon away. Drop the weapon you attacked with. What? You swing wildly with your fists, knees, and forehead. Strength +1. The monster suffers damage equal to your test result. So he drops the pickaxe. I guess she knocks it out of his hand. And it's a good thing he didn't drop... It's a good thing he didn't use the torch, because if you drop the torch, the place you drop the torch into lights on fire. Okay, so he dropped the pickaxe, but he gets to swing wildly. He has 4 strength, and he gets... it's strength +1, so he's going to be rolling 5 dice, and if he can get 3 successes, he can outright kill the witch. Come on, let's have some success for Ashcan. 3 successes. He gets 2 successes. He will spend a clue token, one of his 2 clue tokens, to turn that into 3 successes. The witch only has 3 health. Guess what? Ashcan gets his revenge. He pummels her to the ground. And nothing weird or strange happens when he gets rid of her. So he just beats her down. That was his first action. His second action, well, he may as well pick up the pickaxe that he dropped. So that's going to be his second action. That's the end of his turn. At the end of your turn, discard this card. He is no longer restrained. Oh my god, that was nasty. But of course, time ticks away. Up next, it is Mandy's turn. Now Mandy's here with this investigate token, but she's also in the darkness, which is not good. It means she can't use clue tokens to do what she needs to do. Boy, oh boy, what does she want to do? Well, she could also move out here and look at this investigate token, but then she's going to get separated from Ashcan. So let me just think about this for a second and come back, and we're going to have Mandy take her turn. All right, I think for the first action, Mandy will indeed investigate the hearth. So it says the hearth in the barn has a violet glow emanating from beneath its coals. So her first action, she's going to search. You lift a rusting poker and use it to rummage under the dying coals in the hearth. However, the rough iron starts to grow unnaturally hot beneath your fingers. Test strength. Oh man. And her strength is 2. That is not good. Her strength is 2. She should have left it alone. Come on, let's have some good results. Well, she gets 1 success. Once again, she can't convert this because there's no light source. So she's going to end up with 1 success. I don't think that's going to be too good. So we put that in the app. The iron heats quickly under your grip, and the smoke rising at the hearth starts to smell like cooking meat. Suffer 1 face down damage and 1 face down horror. Oy, yi, yi. So the poker started to burn her. She gets a face down damage and a face down horror. She's getting close to going Looney Tunes. She now has a total of 6 sanity damage. 5 of it face down, 1 face up, and she only has sanity of 8, and she has 3 health damage of 6. All right, well, that's what happened there. It says, though the iron poker is hot enough to scar your hand, you manage to unearth a slate only scorched a little. The soft stone has etchings on both sides detailing the Watley family lineage and noting breeding patterns for other beasts. Gain the old journal unique item and 1 clue, then discard the search token. So she's going to get a clue, and she gets the old journal unique item. All right, old journal unique item. And I'll bet you it's something we can read and learn more about the Watleys. So here's the old journal. It's more evidence. She's going to add that to her stash of goodies. All right, and we're going to continue, and then we're going to remove this. Okay, and some actions happening. Zebulon pushes into the barn and sticks his injured arm into the slack tub full of water with a hiss of pain. Move Zebulon Watley as indicated. So Zebulon moves over here into the barn, and that was her first action, so maybe she'll be able to talk to him. After soaking his arm, Zebulon crows into the night. Watley, you wicked old rat, your experiment is coming down tonight. Okay. Tough words. Can we interact with him? We can indeed. So Mandy here in the dark with Zebulon. She can. Zebulon grumbles. Always hated this area of the woods. Nothing good ever happened here. And them that come out here mean no good to no one. And so she can either ask him, why did the cult capture you? Or, why is that dungeon here? I think she's going to go ahead and say, why did the cult capture you? So she asks Watley the question. Zebulon chuckles a bit under his breath and furtively looks around. I pretended to be interested in their goings-on, to find out what they were planning. Well, when I heard talk of the monsters and even saw some for myself, I threw a bundle of poisoned sumac on their bonfire and hoofed it out of there. They caught up to me, but you should have seen the rashes they had. Laughing with the old man is good for your nerves. Discard 1 horror. Oh, this is awesome. And it just says discard 1 horror. So she's going to get rid of her condition, her face-up horror. And you can do that. It just says discard 1 horror. It doesn't say face down, face up. So we're going to get rid of the one that's face up. Excellent. So that was a good interaction. And that was her second action. And that's going to conclude our actions for this turn, I believe. Yeah, because he got his revenge and she did that. So it is now going to be the end of the investigator phase into the mythos phase, the final mythos phase for this episode. The fire spreads out of control. Place fire in a space adjacent to a space containing fire. Oh dear me. We have the fire here. I think we're going to have it spreading north again into the center here. This is all dotted spaces. So now we have 3 fires blazing here. Yee, the fire spreads. A spell leaps unbidden into your mind. This mythos event affects the investigator with the lowest willpower. That's going to be Mandy. Okay. You attempt to decipher the spell, lore, and you need 1 success. Luckily, we got rid of her condition. Her lore is 4, and all she needs is 1 success, but she doesn't have any light source near her. 1 success. Oh, sure, she gets 4. Ka-ching! No problem with that one. If you pass, you realize casting it would be a terrible idea. Okay, so a spell came into her mind, and she thought, you know what? Casting this thing, bad idea, not going to do it. So she just does not do it. Oh, great. A monster bearing the twisted appearance of an old Watley creation slips free of the forest shadows. Spawn a Byakhee as indicated. So we get a Byakhee now showing up. Let me find that model and get it on the board. All right, so to add horror to the board, a Byakhee here appears in this part of the woods. Oh, great. What's it going to do? Of course, the Byakhee moves 3 spaces toward the investigator within range with the highest strength. So he's going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will go towards Mandy and Watley here. And he, boom, so he comes into the barn. And he attacks the investor. So he's going to attack. He has 5 health. He's a bit nasty. Byakhee swoops past and slams into your leg. Suffer 3 face down damage. Ouch. Agility +1 negates. Mandy's agility is 3 + 1 will be 4. Again, she cannot use clue tokens because she doesn't have a light source. That is, we got to get Ashcan and Mandy together. All right, come on. Oh my God. She gets absolutely nothing. So that Byakhee blindsided her from behind. Suffer 3 face down damage. Well, guess what? Guess what, boys and girls? The 3 damage added to the 3 damage she already has makes a total of 6 damage. So she immediately has 6 damage. So she's going to get rid of all of her damage. That goes away. However, she is now wounded because she's taken enough damage to become wounded. So let me find the wounded card. It'll be right now. All right, and now Mandy now has the wounded condition. You cannot perform the move action more than once each round. When you have suffered damage equal to your health, you are eliminated. Well, this is strike 1 for Mandy, and now she is unable to move twice in a turn. She can only move once, and she already has wow, this is painful, pretty painful, and that was the Byakhee pounding on her. Now each investigator must resolve a horror check against a monster within range. Well, and of course 1, 2, both Ashcan and Mandy are within range. Oh my goodness. So we're going to have to resolve a horror check. The Byakhee tears at the ground with its claws, creating a horrendous sound. Willpower 2. We need 2 successes on willpower. All right. Mandy only has 3 willpower, and nothing she has lets her roll any more dice. So 3 willpower for Mandy. She needs 2 successes. Wow, she gets 2 successes. So after it beats her physically into the dirt, she passes. If you pass, you block out the scrambling noise. All right, the willpower for Ashcan Pete is 4. I don't think he gets any bonuses. Oh, yes, he does. Arcane Manuscript. Roll an additional die while resolving a... Oh, that's a lore test. Never mind. This is willpower. 4 dice. He needs 2 successes. He can use his clue token if he wants to. And he will use his clue token. He is carrying a light source. So he has 2 successes. He also passes. You block out the scrambling noise. So nothing negative happens to either of them. That, oh my God, that is going to end the Mythos phase. And we're going to continue this in a later episode. So this was, wow, I don't know if this was good or bad. We got a fire burning out of control. We got a Byakhee now with 5 hit points who just beat Mandy right into the dirt. She got wounded, which means if she takes damage, 6 more damage again the rest of this game, she's going to be knocked out. And things are not looking exceptionally good for us winning the scenario. It's a huge map. Lots going on. Ashcan Pete, Mandy Thompson. So thanks so much for watching along. This is Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. We're playing Cult of Sentinel Hill. And we're trying to stop old Watley, I think, from bringing into the world probably a Dark One or a Star Spawn or some hideous Dunwich horror. Something extremely nasty. And I don't know if we're doing a very good job of it. So thanks so much for watching along. Smash into the Madness 2nd Edition. Thanks for your subscriptions, your comments, your likes. Really appreciated. So join me next time for the continuation of Cult of Sentinel Hill. And here I am at the very end of the episode doing one little correction. I left a note. Our Mandy here has the Elder Ward. Roll 1 additional die when a monster is attacking you. I didn't do that while the Byakhee hit her. She rolled 4 nothings and happened to take 3 face down damage, which gave her wounded condition. So I'm going to roll 1 extra die right now to see what happens. She can't use clue tokens though. And she rolls nothing. So she rolled 5 nothings on 5 dice, so it won't change anything in the game at all. So thanks so much for watching along. Sorry for the correction, but now everything will be squared away for the next episode. So join me next time for the continuation of Cult of Sentinel Hill.